Nice to see everybody. Click on the recording. Okay, got it. Very nice to meet all of you. I got Arthur gave me your resumes, or your CVs, and your research statements. So I I'm very excited about today's presentation because I want to make sure we cover resources that are useful for each of your projects, for each of your topics, because you're all working on very, very different topics. And I'm going to give you these slides. So Arthur, I'm going to email it to you and maybe you can forward it to everybody. I tried to share the slides in the chat, but I can't I don't see a easy way to do that.
No problem. You can email me so that I
Okay.
can forward to them.
Okay. Let me do that right now. And then I will also copy and paste it into the chat for everybody. Okay. Let's see. So that way you don't have to do screenshots because there's links in here. Okay, send. Great. Okay, thank you for that introduction, Arthur. I have a website that I made for the business majors, the business students I talk to, and also the faculty that I talk to. In fact, most of the time when I meet with a class of students, I make a webpage just for that class. That way I save a lot of paper. I don't have to give them a piece of paper with notes. I can say, just go to this webpage and you can save it, you can bookmark it. And it has a lot. So it has almost all the resources that I want to share with you today. One of your topics, I believe it's Ms. Kane. Your topic has a education focus, and so I want to make sure we also cover a database, a library resource that has education information for you. Okay, so that is not on this website, so I will give that to you separately as part of today's presentation. So we're going to spend about 1 hour on, I will show you I will present to you, and then we will spend the rest of the time. You will try out the database and see if you have any questions, see if you run into problems. Problems are good because then we can try to solve them. Okay, and also I will give you my contact information so that if you, once you have some search results, once you have some things that you want to read, and then after today, you still can email me, you can still set up a meeting with me and to talk more about your topic. Okay, so let's see, before we go any further, I want to talk a little bit about the kinds of resources we have in the library. Okay, so we have we call them primary sources, secondary sources, tertiary sources, and the databases have all three, some databases have all three kinds of information. Some have mostly primary, some have secondary. So let me show you the definitions that we have here. So this is the website, and I have a section right here: primary, secondary, tertiary. Okay, so when you are a primary source, Usually it's firsthand testimony, direct evidence. So in business research, it can be a news article. So with an interview with a CEO, maybe. It can be financial statements from an annual report. It can be images of the company logo. It can be data collected by the government or by a researcher, a law. So we have a lot of primary sources here in the library, as well as on public websites. The United States government has a lot of public websites that provide data, also provide research done by American academics using federal funding. So the American government provides a lot of funding for researchers to do their work, but in return, they have to provide their research in a public way. So Census is a big website with lots of data. Anybody can use it, no login required. The rest of these, Mergent Online, we will talk about today. This is a library database. It has lots of financial data for companies. ProQuest, it's a group of database. ProQuest is the company, and a lot of it has, the library pays for a lot of different databases from the ProQuest company. Okay. So here's some other examples. Secondary sources are, they use the primary sources to interpret and evaluate events. So for example, in business research, you would see maybe a trade journal article talking about research that was done somewhere else, or talking about some news that happened and point you to different newspapers. Okay. Market research report, industry profile, annotated bibliographies. Okay, so that's like a list of all the different articles on a topic. Okay, they didn't do any original research. What they're telling you is here are all the research articles that you should read. Okay, okay, and then most books are secondary research. So we have a lot of secondary research available. So lots of reports, lots of electronic books that you can read online. So if you can't come to our physical library, you can still read electronic books through the library. Okay. Oh, anytime you want, anytime I say something that doesn't make any sense or you have a question, please feel free to unmute and ask your question. Or if you want, you can type your question in the chat. Okay, I'm very informal, so you don't feel you can ask questions anytime. You don't have to wait for the end. Okay. Okay. Last thing, IBIS World. We are going to look at IBIS World today. This is an excellent market research database, and it should be useful for, I want to say, Ms. Choi, your topic about power plants, construction industry. It should be really useful for that, but some of you who want financial data might also find this database useful. Okay. And then lastly, we're not going to spend much time on this, but tertiary sources are mainly like encyclopedias or textbooks, because all of you are already very much experts in some way. So you don't really need textbooks. You don't really need to read encyclopedias. So we're not going to go down to this level. Most of these are used for, for students, for bachelor students or for high school students. So we don't need to touch those. We're going to focus our efforts on primary and secondary sources. Okay. All right. And then one more thing I want to show you before we get started is the North American Industry Classification System. And apologies, I don't know how companies are organized or classified in the South Korean system. This is used by the US. Show you what it looks like. And again, this is a public website. So if you want to try it out, I'll put it in the chat. So this is a system. It's 6 digits, 6 numbers. Okay, so it starts off with 2 numbers, goes up to 3, 4, 5, 6. The more numbers, yeah, the more specific. The fewer numbers, the more general. Okay, and let me give you an example. And you can search this by you can search by the word, you can search by the number. So let me put in like 55. Okay. 55 is management of companies and enterprises. And then if you add more numbers, you can see, oh, okay, so 551114 for our corporate subsidiary regional managing office. That's very general. Let me try a better example. What's a better example? I have notes over here. Okay. Let me try 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. Construction. Okay. And then you add more numbers. You can see residential. You can see non-residential building construction. You can see heavy utility system, highway. Okay. And you don't need to put in numbers. You can put in a word like apparel. Okay. And then you will see all the different codes, all the different NAICS codes. We pronounce NAIC, we pronounce NAICS as NAICS. Okay, so all these are codes that describe different industries, different groups of companies. And we can use these numbers in the library database searches. Okay, so you can use just normal English words like apparel or construction to search a library database. And you can also use these codes to search a library database. How do these codes get assigned? They get assigned in a number of different ways. Sometimes when a company is filing their taxes, they might say, our company does this kind of work. So they'll put in a code. Sometimes when they file an application for something, I don't know what, I can't think of anything right now. The government agency that says, oh, you want to apply to do this. Oh, okay, then you must be this code. So one company can have a lot of different codes assigned to them. So for example, Apple, Apple makes a lot of different things. They also have retail stores. So they have a bunch of different NAICS codes assigned to them, manufacturing as well as retail, right? So you can see a company participating in many different kinds of business activities based on their codes. Okay. So I'll leave that open in case you have any questions about the NAICS codes and how to use them. And then we can come back to it if you have a question. Okay, so the databases we're going to use today is on this slide. Okay, we have 4 different databases. I didn't want to do too many because not enough time, but if you want to try some of the other databases on the business webpage that I made, we can make an appointment and I can talk to you just about the databases that can help your project. Okay, because the library has over 200 databases, and so I only picked 4 for today. So the first one, this is my favorite for all the business students that I talk to. It is very big. It has, and if you remember, let me put all 4 into the chat. Okay. So this one, ABI, we call it ABI Inform. And B means business, abstracted business index. Okay. It's very good for all kinds of business research. So when you put the link in your browser, you will see this, and then you have to click on it. And it should ask if you're, I think I already logged in. Usually library databases require the Bronco name, Bronco password. You know, that's our Cal Poly brand, Broncos. It's like a kind of horse. Bronco name, Bronco password, and then there's a two-step authentication. It sends a code to your cell phone, and then you type in the, you know, you approve on your phone. So going back to the primary, secondary sources, I believe this is under ProQuest databases. ProQuest, I mentioned ProQuest is a company, and we have a lot of different databases with ProQuest. So you can see we're just using one. This is the business database within ProQuest. They also have, if you go to change database, you will see this whole list of different databases we have with them. And don't worry, I'm just going to go through. ERIC is also in here. So ERIC is the business database. I'm sorry, the education database. Yeah. So any of the strategies I show you today in ABI, you can also use the same strategies in ERIC. Okay. All right. So how do you use this? You can use this like Google. Okay. You can type in. Now, you can't type. I don't think you can type in Korean words, but you definitely works for all English words. So for example, you can type in, let's try design competency. Okay. I believe that's Ms. Lee's topic. You're interested in improving design competency in small and medium enterprises. Okay, so design competency. Okay, when I typed it, I think I typed it slowly. It has a very nice predictive, you see it's trying to predict. It's trying to, it's a predictive text feature. So sometimes I use this to help me see if there's better words I can use, because even though, you know, I feel very comfortable with English, sometimes I don't think of all the words that I can use. So I type very slowly. I usually type very fast, but here I type slowly just to see what other words I can use. And okay, in this case, I think design competency is fine. I don't need, I don't think I'm going to change it. I would just say design competency. And then I'm going to put in small and medium. Let's see, small and medium. And then it has some suggestions. It says small and medium size, small and medium firms, small, medium and small enterprise. Okay, so it has a lot of different ways to word the same thing. You know, firm and enterprise are you can use interchangeably. Okay, so you can say, and then I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, so when I say, when I can add, I can put quotation marks around the words if I want the words to appear in the exact order. Okay, that way it will find small and medium, you know, next to each other. If I don't put that, if I get rid of this, it will find small over here, medium over here. That's not what I want. Okay, so I want these words next to each other. You can do that for any search words that you use. Okay, and then I'm going to add one more row. Say, so we noticed that firms and enterprise are synonyms. You can use them one or the other. So I'm going to say firm or enterprise. Okay. And I think I can use or like uppercase or lowercase, but in this case, I'm just trying to make sure I can see that it's a command rather than I'm searching for the word or. Okay, so design competency, small, medium, firm or enterprise, and now I can hit search. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I have 30,000 results. First thing I usually tell my business students is, don't worry, we will cut down the results. That's too many, too much to read. You can't finish reading. I usually try to cut it down to 100 when I'm talking to one student, in an appointment, in one-on-one meeting. But usually in a class, I don't have time to cut it all the way down. But I usually give them strategies. Okay, so first thing for business majors, you're not history majors. You don't need to know everything that happened all the way, at the beginning, right? So you look at the date. It looks like we have a lot of really old articles, 1946, right, to 2021. That's too old. So usually at Cal Poly Pomona, the professors, the business professors, they say, nothing. I only want last 10 years, decade. Okay, so what last 10 years? I can move this bar over. So about 2010. Okay, update. Okay, so that cuts it down a little bit, 25,000. It's still too much. Okay, and then something else you can do here is you can look at the types of sources. You can see there are scholarly journal articles. Often for this kind of research, I believe that's what you want. You want journal articles. There's also dissertations and theses. These are done by students working on their master's degree or for their PhD or for their other kinds of doctorate degree. So they can be useful if you want to see how somebody else did their research. Okay. And then there's a lot of other kinds of sources. Okay. So wire feeds, some of them are like newspaper, but also some of them are kind of like press release. Okay, so a company will put out an announcement saying, we are an excellent company. We manufacture 30,000 units of this product and we sold all of them. We did a great job. So that they're trying to make themselves look good. The information is useful, but for some research projects, but most of the faculty that I talk to, they tell the students, you know what, you don't need to look at these. Okay, so you can just exclude it. So you can exclude any of these types of sources. Just click on exclude and then apply. And that cuts down on the results. No wire feeds in just last 10 years. I know technically this is not last 10 years. So 2021, so if you want, you can cut down to just 2011. You can move the bar again. Okay, so that cut down even more. So the peer-reviewed articles, if you want only peer-reviewed in the US, often in some disciplines, they care a lot about a process called peer review, where you have reviewers looking at the research saying, okay, you know what, your article is great. We are going to publish in our journal. And so you can limit to just peer-reviewed results using this box right here. So now we're down to 5,000. Okay. By the year, not where, and then by the peer review. Okay. And then one more down here, we have a lot of different filters. You can filter by language. You can filter by location, company. Sometimes they have interesting companies. And if a student only wants, maybe one or two or a small number of articles, I usually say, look at the companies, find a company that is interesting to read about. Okay, and then you can choose an interesting company. That way the article is is better to read for you. For your topics, you might want to look at the subject. These are like when you are on social media, you have hashtag something, and then you click on the hashtag and you find a lot of other posts about the same hashtag. So the subject is like the hashtag inside the database. So you can look at the number of times a tag has been used. So studies has been used over 2,000 times. So if you're interested in how other people did their studies, you might want to look at that. Small, medium-sized enterprises. Okay, there's a hashtag, there's a tag for that. That's excellent. So you might want to start there. Okay, and then this is in order by most. The count is highest at the top and it goes down lower, and then the number decreases. Okay, so that's the order. So if you want to see the smaller, the less popular tags, down here you have value chain, technology adoption, customer satisfaction. It's about 100. Okay. So that's an easy way to cut down on your results, is pick one of the less popular tags. And then finally, most of the articles here in ABI, that's another reason why I love using it. Most of the articles are available to read right away. So, so I can see, oh, this title is very interesting. I want to read it. I can click on, click on the full text. There's a PDF. I can download the PDF to my computer. Now, if I'm in the process of looking through a lot of results, I usually suggest using this feature. This feature is called Show Abstract. Abstract is usually a 1-paragraph summary, very nice short description of the article. So that way I don't become overwhelmed. I can just read the description, say, oh, okay, based on description, I don't like it. That title looked good, but description not so good. Okay, so I show it, read it, I don't like it, hide it again. Show it, read it, okay, and then just go through the whole list. There is, oh, this one, it looks like it's Spanish. Some of you read Spanish. Yeah, so you can actually read. I noticed in some of your CVs, you say you read Spanish. That's wonderful. So if you want, you can also download the Spanish articles. Let's see. Yeah, lots of articles about other countries. Like here is Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ghana. So if you feel like you don't want to focus on those countries, you can go into location and only choose certain countries. You might accidentally cut out some useful results, but right now we have over 5,000 results, so I think you're safe. You know, or you can, if you want, you can add the name of the country into the search. That's another option, is to put in the name of the country that you want. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, let's see. When you actually click on an article, and you can see our search words are all highlighted. And if that bothers you, you can get rid of the highlighting. Show, hide. Okay. And the PDF is here. Usually, for my bachelor's, graduate students, I tell them, remember to cite your sources. This is a very easy way to cite your source. You click on the quotation mark icon and it has a lot of different ways to cite your source. Okay, so that's there. Anything else? Let me try this strategy again with a different person's topic. I'm going to go ahead and, so when you want to save your results, when maybe you're in the middle of your research project, you say, oh, I have to walk away. How do I save the results I have on the screen? In ABI, do not use the link in the browser bar. That will probably not work correctly. Go to the save search, go to save search, get search link, okay? And you will get a link that will expire in 1 year. So it's good for 1 year. So let me copy and paste that and put that into the So this was design competency, SMEs. Okay. So that's one example. You can play around with it. Let me try a different example. I had, oh, it's clearing. Let me clear out these boxes. I believe it was who wanted to work on mergers and acquisitions. I think it was Ms. Park. You wanted to work on mergers and acquisitions. Let me use your topic as one example. Okay, so merger and acquisition. Again, I'm typing slowly because I want to see the examples, the suggestions. Looks like there's, this one adds the word tax, this one adds the word fail. I will leave it alone for now, okay? But feel free to try those. And then I think you were interested in the effects of regulation. Okay, so it looks like effects of regulation, effects of accounting regulation, effects of industry regulation. So you can try any of these. Some of these look actually kind of interesting. So some of these are for specific industries like beef, airline. Yeah. Some of these are for very, very specific topics, executive compensation. So how much the executives are paid in that company. Okay, so I'll leave it alone for now. And then I'm not sure if I need to put in the quotation marks. Remember earlier I put small quotation marks around small and medium because that's a commonly used term to describe the size of the company, right? Here, I'm not sure if I need to, so I won't put the quotation marks. Okay. And sometimes you might need to do it multiple times. When you start to see the same words appear in the same order, you can say, oh, you know what? I will put quotation marks around merger and acquisition, because they always appear in that order in the best articles, in the articles that I like the most. Okay. 660,000, obviously we have some work to do. So first of all, 1914, you don't need articles from 1914. Easy. We're doing the exact same thing we did last time. Fix the dates first. That's all. I do this always in the same order so I don't forget one step. Okay, so I'm going to change it to 2011. Maybe you want it even newer. Maybe you want, when you're doing your search, maybe you say, oh, you know what, 10 years, that's actually too much information. Maybe last 5 years. And some of the professors I talk to, they tell their students last 5 years. So the most extremes, the most strict one, the most strict professor I talked to, she said last 3 years. That's very, very new research, right? New data. And then the benefit to the students is they don't have so much to read. Okay, so again, you can say peer reviewed. That automatically cuts out all the newspapers, cuts out the magazines, cuts out the wire feeds. Okay. Now it's 7,000 results. Okay. And then go down to the, and then if you feel comfortable, you can start reading, looking at the abstracts right away. Go down to the subject tags, see what's interesting. Oh, okay. So in this database, they don't say mergers and acquisitions. They say acquisitions and mergers. So I just learned something. They put the words in a different order. Okay. So I can say, oh, I will look at all of the articles tagged with acquisitions and mergers. Just it's 1,000. And maybe if I want to fix my search, modify my search, maybe I will put the word acquisition first. Move acquisition, merger and acquisition, change it to acquisition and merger. And maybe I want to put quotation marks around it. Okay. So we learn things even when we're just searching and we're not reading yet. Okay. Okay, so looks like this might be a good starting point for you. And then if you want to talk to me further, so I'm going to give you the safe search. Merger, acquisition. Okay. So those are two examples from ABI. How are we doing? I hope I'm going at a good pace for you. If I'm going too slow or too fast, just tell me. Okay. I wanted to show you Eric because I think it was, yeah, Ms. Kane wanted to look at marketing methods to promote English teaching jobs. And so there is an education, there's a business component to this. So you can do a search in here for, you know, for marketing and teaching overseas. Use all those words. You can also use the ERIC database to find out if there is any research. So ERIC is a online digital library. So this is a library version of this. And all the search strategies I just showed you in ABI, it has the same, you can do that in here. I think we have two different versions though. Yeah, this looks a little different. It's blue, it's not yellow. If you want to use the version that we just used, go back into ABI and change the database. Change the database, get rid of, uncheck ABI and click on ERIC. And then you can use all the same strategies we just used. Okay, the year and then the subject tags, peer reviewed. They should all have the same features. EBSCO, this company, their search works very, very much the same. It's just they put it in a different place on the screen. So it might slow you down. Okay, but you can use the same, you can do the same things in here as well. There is a publicly available version. So this is a government, US government website. It's the same data. It's the same information as the library database. It's just made available to the public because like I said, when researchers use federal funding to do their research, they're required to make their research available to the public in some way. Sometimes it can be just the abstract, so it might not be the full article. Okay, but while you're studying, while you are doing your research here at Cal Poly, you can use the Cal Poly version and you can have access to all of the articles. Okay, so let me give you the public available. Okay. And so when you do a search, again, they make like one search box, so it seems like it acts like Google. But if you want to see the multiple search box, you can do advanced. Oh, I see. It tells you how to word your searches. Okay. So it has the search strategies. Let me go back. So you can put in things like teach English abroad, search. Okay. And first thing you will see is it's actually not too many results. It's 53. So you can actually read all of these. Yeah, we don't really have to fix anything. But if you want to, you can say last 10 years. They have a filter for last 10 years right here. Okay, so that's only 18 results. Okay. And maybe we are using the wrong words. I'm not sure. I think we're using the correct words teaching. So Another, I noticed that sometimes they use the words overseas. So if you want to put in, synonyms, you can say and, abroad, or overseas, or international. Those are some of the other words they use. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Now we increase the results a lot. Too much. We increased too much. Now it's 15,000 results. And then you can say, okay, since last 10 years, 7,000. Okay, so you see what happens when you use slightly different words. When you put in synonyms, words that can mean almost the same thing, all of a sudden you change your search results a lot. This happens a lot with the students I talk to. They say, Julie, I can't find anything, and then we come and sit down together. We say, okay, what's another way to say this word? Okay, let's put in the synonym, and then all of a sudden the search results completely change. Okay. Let me give you the search. Okay. Teach English, abroad, overseas, international. So we connected all those. Yeah, so those are okay, and again, this is a public database, so you can use this anytime you want, even after you're no longer researching with Cal Poly. Okay, and if you're interested in other databases that are publicly available, I can let me know, and I can come up with suggestions for you. All right, the next database I want to show you is IBISWorld. And according to our list of sources, primary, secondary sources. Sorry, I have allergies. IBISWorld is considered a secondary source. So what they do is they're a company of analysts. They gather data and they make their own predictions. And they do a pretty good job. And if you go to their websites, their reports are actually very, very expensive. So it's a good thing, so when you're a researcher with us, you get access free. So let me give you let's go to IBISWorld. Currently, we only pay for US, China, Canada. So we do have global, so that's good. So that way the data is not just limited to US. You can look at the global reports. But let me open IBISWorld. So I mentioned to you, you notice they say search by industry, keyword, company, or code. The code is the NAICS code that I mentioned earlier. Okay, and when you are searching in ABI, you can search by NAICS code too. I almost forgot to show you. ABI, if you use the drop-down menu, you can, where is it? Oh, we're in ERIC right now. ERIC doesn't have NAICS as an option. Let me go to ABI. Okay. So ABI has oh, you can even search by ticker symbol. So that's the stock symbol. It's very interesting. I believe this is the classification code. Oh, no, it's right here. It's even easier. It's right here. You see right here, this box, just type, yeah. And you can type in the NAICS code. If you don't know the numbers, I don't memorize them. So I can just click on look up. and it gives me this nice menu. So I can put in, retail, and then it will give me all the codes. I can say, oh, okay, give me everything for 44. That's the most general, right? Remember, the smaller number is the most general. If you add more numbers, it's more specific. Okay. So here in IBIS World, you can put in, again, you can put in a word to describe what you're searching for. You can put in the name of a company. Yeah, so if you have a company in mind, you can actually search for the name of that company. So here I will use the construction example that I talked about earlier. When I put in construction, again, I type slowly on purpose so I can see what kinds of suggestions come up. Construction in the US, roadway, industrial, heavy. Okay, so I can, and then I can see view more results. Then I can see a full list. Now I believe, looking at your research statements, Ms. Choi, I think you were interested in power plant construction. So I believe, so it's not all construction, it's not commercial, not road, highway. I think it's heavy engineering construction. So, and you can see in these tiny description, it says hydroelectric power plant, tunnel, outdoor. And then what I did was I went to the NAICS website, which is this website, and I confirmed that that's the code that you can use for power plants. Okay, so heavy engineering construction. And feel free to try this with other search words for the rest of you. If you're interested in a different industry, you can type in apparel. You can see a lot of different reports for apparel. And every one of these reports is structured the same way. They all have the same sections on the left side, but with data very specific to their industry. Usually I double check the date. So April 2021, that's pretty good. That's only 6 months old. So they do a good job most of the time to update the data. So you can read the summary on the front page to see their prediction. I like to go to the industry at a glance section. Oh, you can download the whole thing as a PDF. You see this download button, but there are certain sections that work better if you download it separately. And it's the data sections, because you can download the spreadsheet and then you can play with the data in the spreadsheet program. You can't do that in a PDF. Okay, so that's down here. Key statistics. It has, I'll just jump to that right now and show you. Key statistics, you can see the industry data. And then a download button is right here. That will let you download as a spreadsheet. Okay, and you notice they have 5 years into the future. Right now we're 2021. So they have all these years going back to 2004. That's actual data. And then they have what they predict for the next 5 years. And they're very conservative. They don't make wild guesses. So I think it's pretty reliable in that sense. Annual change, key ratios, and they only have, they don't have a lot of ratios. Sometimes a student wants a special ratio and I say, sorry, you have to calculate it yourself. Okay. Financial, okay. So all these different sections have their own download button. Okay, I want to go back to industry at a glance. That's the second section. After the about page, industry at a glance has these nice infographics that describe very fast what's happening. So the revenue, And a lot of the students I talk to, they want to make presentations. So I say, you can grab the pictures right here and put it into your slides. So very nice slides. This section, these pie charts, they look more like donuts. They describe the major products and services. And you can get more details on this part under products and markets. So there's a separate section that has more details about just about these pie charts. So go to products and markets. And then you can see a lot more details. Okay. Oh, I thought they were going to repeat the pie charts. It looks like they didn't repeat it. Okay. Yeah. And then but I won't go into detail about the other sections, but the other sections have a lot of useful information. Okay. And then if you go under major companies, now for this particular industry, there's no major players, but usually for other reports, they will have a chart to show the market share. Okay. But even here, they tell you, even though there's no major players, there's still companies that show up, like Bechtel shows up, AECOM. I didn't know what AECOM was and before this presentation. I just like, okay, that's good to know. In fact, I'm going to use this as the jumping off point for the next database I want to show you. Okay, so I'm going to use AECOM in an example. Okay, and again, I will leave it open in case you have questions. Okay, so the last database I want to show you is Mergent Online. Mergent Online is a great database for finding financial information. Oh, sorry, I gave you a confusing link. So the link I gave you will show 3 different databases. The version that we are going to use for today is the last one. It's called Mergent Online, and just by itself, not the first or second, but financial data on over 10,000 publicly traded companies. Also includes some, industry analysis and private companies. Okay, so we'll use this one. So publicly traded companies in the United States, the data is available actually for free. It's available on a website called the SEC. SEC.gov. Let me give you that link. And I have shown students how to use it. You just use the search box. You can type in a company like AECOM. And then, wow, all their data is right there. Okay, but it's harder to use. So Mergent Online is a huge time saver. So here, I type in AECOM. And it gives me the company financials, very nice and neat, so that I can analyze it. And I can choose how many years of data I want. On the free website that I just gave you, and let me give you the URL. This one only gives you 3 years at a time. Okay, so you can choose the year and it will give you last 3 years. And if you want older than that, then you have to find an older filing, and then it will only give you the last 3 years from that year. So it's very, very annoying. So if you want more than 3 years of data, I say just come to Mergent. You will save so much time and hassle. So the default view in here is actually for 5 years, but if you want, you can change it to 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, all available years. Sometimes for the really big companies takes forever. You just, you see the little wheel. Also you should be aware that there's different financials in here. The default is balance sheet, but if you want, you can say all sections. I just want everything. So change that to everything, all sections. Change that to the year you want. If you want, let's say last 10 years. And then hit refresh. Remember to hit the refresh button. And then it will show on your screen. Once it shows on your screen what you want, then you can download. Okay. Sometimes people download before they refresh and they only get the last 5 years. And they say, wait, I changed it to 10 years. Well, did you hit refresh? Okay. This section, competitors, it can be useful if you want to compare a lot of different companies. You say, well, how do I pick the different companies? Sometimes people know. They say, oh yeah, I want to compare Microsoft. I want to compare Apple. I want to compare Hewlett Packard. They already know the companies they want to compare. Sometimes they don't. So competitors can be an easy way to find other companies that do the same kind of business. So when I go under competitors, I see the list, and see, this is a list of all the public companies in the US. I can change this list to public global to see companies in other countries. So now you see this one is France, Tokyo. Some of these look like Spanish names. ThyssenKrupp, I think is that German? Okay. And then private companies are very, very difficult to research, but there is a little tiny bit of data in here because they're not required, they're not legally required to provide a lot of data. But here, we do have their sales data. I don't know if the employed, this is number of employees. I don't know how accurate that is. I would probably ignore it. But yeah, so you can you can use this to generate the list, click on each one to see how much detail is provided. Okay. Like I can say, I don't even know where Simatech Group is. Oh, Minsk, Belarus. Okay. So you can see this is an engineering company in Belarus. Okay. If you see a company that you feel like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, they shouldn't be here, you can click on the little X to get rid of them. If you don't see a company that you expect to see, you can add them to the list. You can add the name of type the name of the company in this list, in this box, and click add. And then right now we're looking at revenues. So it's sorting by the revenues column. You can change it to one of these other columns if you want, or you can just download the spreadsheet and play around with it on your own computer. Okay. So yeah, very, very easy way to download a lot of data to analyze. I didn't give you the SEC website yet, but let me give you this one so that this is the Securities and Exchange Commission website. You can get data, you can get the financials for all the publicly traded companies in the US. Okay, but again, this one's much faster. Okay, we are now at 10:03 according to my clock. So we can spend the rest of the time. You can try the links that I gave you in the chat, and then you can tell me how it's working for you. Let's see. I think the only one, Ms. Kim, I didn't do a search that covered your research project. Let me try that with with ABI real quick, so I can give you a link that you can use. Okay, so you're interested in accounting system. Let's see, U.S. accounting system. That's one suggestion. So like when I typed in accounting and then system, it suggested U.S. accounting system. So we can try that. And we can say decision making. That's a lot of results. Reviewed. Change to last 10 years. Okay. I'm looking at the subject tags. Competitive advantage might be a possibility to help your company be more competitive. Let's see. Strategic management. There's just a tag success. Profitability. So let me try those. Okay, so what did we say? Profitability, success. Competitive advantage. Did I miss one? I think I missed one. Strategic management. Okay, so I chose 4 tags. So some of these articles have 1 tag from the 4 that I chose. Some of them have maybe more than 1. So you can see they're all bunched up here. So if I give you this link, yes, accounting system and decision making. Okay. If I give you this link, you can say, okay, well, first I want to look at just profitability. So you can X out X, X, X. So actually, now you're only looking at the articles that talk about profitability based on, in addition to accounting and decision making. Okay, so that's about 1,000. Okay, And then if you want to go back to the previous search results, use the link that I gave you in the chat to go back to the full several thousand. Okay, and then you can look at a different tag. And remember, you can always, if you get to a point where, you know, if you want to save the profitability article separately, remember to go to save search, get the search. And then feel free to add more words or change the words, because maybe I didn't pick the best search words. Okay. So we'll spend the rest of our time together. Go ahead and try the databases. I asked Arthur if you all have the Cal Poly login, and you should have it. But if you're having trouble with it, please let him know.
Yeah, I hope everybody has the Cal Poly Pomona email account. Yeah, I believe they have already. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Good, good. And let me stop share. So. Okay.
I tried to research for my ethic from Eric, like my research to see like for the American graduates, like to teach English abroad, like overseas, wherever in Asia or Africa. So I just used the link that Dr. Julie Shen tried. So I'm seeing the details. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I wanted to research exactly like American college graduates employment abroad decisions, something like that. So yeah, I have tried like I was going to try like a different words like it's like American graduates.
Let's see. think. Let me go back to that link. I accidentally closed it.
Is it like for, is this way like for American? Something like that?
So I'm thinking, okay, because we do have research from other countries in here.
So for me, like I would like to research about like not study abroad, but working abroad, the decision making of American students, something like that.
Yeah.
So but the result shows like a study abroad decision making of Chinese student or like a Ghanaian student. So I was trying to like a wording different, like Americans or Canadians. From Eric.
I put in, you know what? I tried putting in US, U.S. And then
Where?
let
In
me,
front of or?
yeah, let me give that link to you. Where's the chat? Oh, there's the chat. Okay. Here. Yeah. Let's see. Let me try adding American, US or American. That gives you a little bit more results. But I also see, but I didn't cut down the years. So last 10 years. Last 10 years. Okay, here we go.
Last 5 years should be fine.
Last 5 years. Okay. Last 5 years is only 22.
Is it?
Yeah. So you can see in the link, it says since 2017, and it's only 22 results when we added US or American.
Okay. Political correct.
I clicked on one article. It's about Mexico. You know English. Oh, it's on your screen. You know English, so why don't you teach to see what kinds of tags they use, what kinds of words. They use words like decision making. They use words like teacher attitudes. They use words like labor force. So I can click on those links. Labor force. Let's see. Okay. Labor force and language teachers. Something is broken. So that's one strategy you can try is click on one that looks almost close to what you want, or best case, it's an example of what you want, but you want more articles like it. And look at the words, look at the tags they use.
Maybe this kind of article would be helpful for me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so before you, oh, that looks old.
Ah,
1988.
oh,
So you look at the tags they use, you see the descriptors. Oops. In the article that you were looking at, there were little blue links.
so
If you go
Ar-
if you go forward, you can click on the forward arrow in the upper left corner.
author.
Yeah, just click on the article you were using, U.S. educated English teachers overseas. Yeah, go ahead and click on that again. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So you see the tags. Okay. Descriptors in the middle of the screen. Class activities, class communicate. So that's where I look for tags that might be useful. So like I saw the language teachers. I saw the language teachers tag. And so I think that might be a useful tag. When I click on it, I get a lot of different, well, I use the words in the search. Here, let me give it to you. I use that to get ideas for different words to search for. So I replaced my original search. Original search was teach English abroad, overseas. So I replaced it completely with just language teachers. So I just put it in the chat for you. So I just searched for the words language teachers with quotation marks. And then I click on the language teachers descriptor. And then last 5 years, there's over 3,000 results. I'm sure there's other words we can add to this search to make it more useful.
Yeah, like ESL teachers, EFL teachers, like
You can say, you can add English.
maybe like working abroad contain
Yeah, try
teach
that.
and
You can
teach
try that.
and work abroad.
Did they use the words work?
Teach and work abroad. So for the descriptions, how can I add this word? Do I add this word or does it come?
You can
For the description.
type in the box at the top.
At the top,
Yeah, replace your search.
you
Just-
mean search?
Yeah, just delete all of that and type in language teachers.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
The US MA TESOL programs prepare students to teach abroad. Yeah, this kind of articles.
Mm. Oh, it has a, I see foreign workers.
Foreign
Yes.
workers, yeah.
Do you see
Work,
that tag? Yeah, foreign
work in
workers.
Asia, something like that.
Uh,
Foreign country,
well, it
foreign
doesn't say,
workers,
yeah, it doesn't say Asia, but it,
foreign workers, yeah.
yeah, that might be a possibility.
So for this program, there is no download or no details for
Right.
this result.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can copy and let's see.
Copy of what? The
Copy
title?
the title. Let me see if it, okay, so copy and paste into the library search engine. So here's the library search engine. This is the library, this is the main library website. So you copy and paste it. Oops, I don't see the title anymore.
Could you share your screen, please?
Oh, I just put the link in the chat for you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, and it turns out it was very easy to find. So I searched
Okay.
for the first few words of your title.
Here?
Yeah, in that box right there. Yeah, it's right there. And
This
it
one?
says,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it looks like our library has it. It says full text available.
Oh,
Yeah. So those are the two in the middle of your screen. It says full text availability, JSTOR. Oh, don't scroll. Yeah, don't move.
this
JSTOR.
one.
Yeah, JSTOR and Wiley. Those are the two library databases that contain the article. Yeah, so you can click on. Oh, yeah, and here you have to type in your Bronco name and password.
Okay, I have not made yet.
Oh, okay, okay. So you can save the link and come back and download the article once you have the
Okay.
yeah. So when you use a public government website to find articles, usually there's no link to the full text. they just have a summary. So you
Okay.
you copy the article title and
Uh-huh.
then you paste into the library search engine. And then the
Okay.
library will give you the full text.
Okay, I see. Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
I also change the link or change the search to US or American and language teachers and English and abroad or overseas or international. Let me give you that link. Okay.
Yeah.
In ERIC, I got only 50 results. So you can take a look. Chat,
Yeah,
I'll put it in the
I
chat.
found another good book titled The EFL and ESL Job Search Handbook.
Mm. It looks
So
like
this is exactly what I want. Like
Mhm.
I think as the title.
Mhm. That's great.
Hmm. It's very old, like 1995.
Yeah. Here's one called, I found one called Teacher Preparation Programs in the United States. It's 2018. Let me give you the,
2018.
yeah. Let me give you the link. Mm. And there is a link to download the full text. So this is for ESL teachers. It's not for EFL teachers. So ESL
Mhm.
teachers, they stay in the United States to teach English
National Challenge.
to
Mm. Okay, this is teacher preparation programs in the United States. So like for me, teachers teaching programs overseas outside of the United States. That's what I'm looking for.
okay.
but
So maybe we need, instead of English, maybe what we need is to search for EFL.
mhm.
Hmm. Okay. So,
But this kind of article is helpful for me,
mm,
like to see what kind of preparation programs in the United States for the US college graduates who want to become a native English teacher in South Korea.
mhm. So if we search for language teachers and EFL, and
Mhm.
last 5 years, there's over 1,000. And then if we add the tag, teacher attitudes,
Mm,
no, not teacher attitudes,
teacher
Okay.
qualification.
qualification. Okay. So it's more about teacher education. Okay. Teacher preparation.
Yeah, teacher preparation.
Okay. Okay. Language teachers and EFL, and then I click on teacher education programs. Let me give you that. You tell me if it's useful. Okay, so language teachers and EFL and teacher education programs. And there's only 136 results, so hopefully it's
Okay. Mhm. Yeah, the articles, some of them, like I'm interested in reading, like could be very helpful. Yeah, teacher assessment.
great. So some of them are very specific
Mhm.
to like a specific country. Like I see one that says Iranian EFL teachers, writing assessment beliefs. Do majors matter? So it's talking about, does it matter what their major was?
Mhm.
You know, and so you look at it and you might say, well, that only applies to Iran, you know, but if you see enough articles that kind of look at the same question
Okay.
in different countries, and I believe based on your original research statement, you were interested in worldwide. And you could see, well, you know, doesn't
Especially
matter?
Asia, like South Korea or
Okay.
China.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you might, if those countries are not interesting to you, then you might want to look at location on the left
Mhm.
side, on the left column. If you scroll down,
Okay.
it's under education level, down below,
Okay.
location. So you can click on a
Mhm.
country, and like you can see, there's I see
No, Korea.
Indonesia. I see no Korea. Okay, I see Taiwan. I see. You might want to add the word, if you want, you can add the word Korea into your search. So you would say, so right now it says at the top in the search box, it says language teachers and EFL. Then you can add and Korea. And that.
And also including China. So
Oh,
like
so you want
if I
Korea.
click,
Okay, so you want Korea
I
or
mean
China?
both Korea and China.
Okay.
Is this
but
right?
No, you don't want and,
Yeah.
because that means you need the article to mention both Korea and China, and that's too restrictive. Yeah, so you want
Korea or China.
yeah, so you want to put it in parentheses. Let me go ahead and, so I see 144 results. When I added that's before I click on last 5 years. Oh, wow. Okay, so the very, very first result is teachers of English as foreign language. Okay, so I changed it to last 5 years. Last 5 years, and then it says in China and South Korea. So that's actually kind of perfect. I didn't expect to have an article that covers both China and Korea. That's great. Yeah, most of these articles I expect to only talk about teachers in one country, but that one talks about both. So I just dropped it in the chat for you.
Let me try just Korea. "31 result."
Mm-hmm. And remember, these are, you didn't restrict by date yet. So some of these articles will be old. You need to click on
Okay.
last 5 years. Yeah. 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 So you need to go back up and click on last 5 years, and then you will see the newest articles. So when you add, let's see. Looks like I got the same number as you. Did you add Asia?
Yeah, I just put the Asia. I want to see like Asia market as well. Asia.
Okay, so I got 80. Okay, and then I
50.
restricted.
I got 50.
Yeah, so I constructed it differently.
Mhm.
I put in Korea or Asia.
Yeah, I put only Asia. Yeah, Asia.
So how you construct the search makes a difference. So I put in the Korea or Asia, and then since 2017.
2070. I put Asia, and the result is 55.
Yeah. So take a look at the link I gave you in the chat, because I don't.
Mm. 35 result.
Yeah. And you might need to put in specific countries. Asia might not be a good description.
Okay. It's like Korea, China, or Japan, or China, something like that. Taiwan. Okay.
Yeah, let me put in all those. Okay. So here's one that has all the different countries added, and it has 114 results. I just put it in the chat for you. So 114.
114.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we run out of time, I want to offer my time to all of you. If you want to follow up, if you want to meet separately to talk about your research, please feel free, email me, and we can set up a time. We can meet on Zoom and just talk about your specific research.
Okay.
And how to, because I mentioned we have a lot of databases, so more than just the 4 that I showed you today. Yeah, more than the 4. So I want to make sure that you have full access, that you know how to use all the resources that are good for your topic, not just the 4 that we saw today. Okay. Yeah. So I look forward to hearing from all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.